At age 15, Billie Eilish had a smash hit single on her hands. 2 years later, she became one of Coachella's hottest acts, all before her first full-length album dropped. But there's much more to the brooding, stylish, and undoubtedly ahead of her time teen. This is the untold truth of Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish grew up in a musical family. She was encouraged to write and sing songs from an early age, but she never considered music as a possible career. Instead, her rise to fame was a happy accident. And it all started with her dance teacher, as Eilish told Teen Vogue. "One of my teachers asked if I would either write a song or have my brother write a song to choreograph a dance to. I was like, yes, that's such a cool thing to do." So she performed her brother's song called Ocean Eyes, which he originally wrote for his band, but thought would sound better in his sister's voice. They recorded the track and posted it to SoundCloud for her teacher to check out. The next day, Eilish got the surprise of her life when her brother called to let her know the track had 1,000 listens, a milestone she'll never forget. As she told Junkie, "That was such a big deal at the time. Even though 1,000 is basically nothing compared to everything else in the world, we just thought we made it. And then it just kept growing, and then it got really big. So big, it earned over 14 million streams in 3 years." Amidst a whirlwind ascent to superstardom, many things have changed for Eilish, but one of the true constants in her life has been her brother, Finneas O'Connell. Not only has he written or co-written many of her hits, he's also produced or co-produced several of them. He's even played and sung on a few tracks. But Finneas is no wallflower. He has his own musical and acting career. He was in a band called The Slightlies. He's a talented singer-songwriter, and he's even put together a quality acting portfolio. Starting out in the film Bad Teacher, Finneas then starred in a movie with his mum called Life Inside Out. To date, however, his most recognizable role has to be playing Alistair on Glee. Yet he's not looking to escape the shadow of his burgeoning superstar sister. He told Paper magazine, "I've loved every minute I have spent recording, writing, and playing with my sister. She's taught me so much about how to be a true artist and how to execute your vision and really be an incredible performer." As kids, Eilish and her brother were homeschooled by their mum, actress Maggie Baird. One of the classes she taught them was songwriting, and Eilish's very first composition stemmed from an assignment her mum gave her. As the young singer explained to Junkie, "You had to watch a movie or TV show and then write down all the parts that you thought were good hooks or good lyrics." She chose The Walking Dead and turned a mix of episode titles and dialogue into a hit track called Fingers Crossed. She told the mag, "I watched The Walking Dead and then I wrote down all this stuff. People don't even know that that's what it's about, because it sounds more like a longing heartbreak song. But no, it's about zombies." People of all different shapes and sizes have little tics or repeated movements, but it doesn't always mean that the person suffers from Tourette syndrome. So when fans began posting compilation videos of Eilish experiencing what appeared to be tics, many expected it to be nothing out of the ordinary. The truth, however, is that Eilish is actually diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. Taking to Instagram, she opened up about the condition with fans and admitted to trying to hide the involuntary movements, saying, "I've just never wanted people to think of Tourette's every time they think of me. I've taught myself ways of suppressing my tics and certain techniques to help reduce them when I don't want to be distracting in certain situations." Eilish's great talents don't end with singing and songwriting. She's also a trained dancer. Not only was her first published track, Ocean Eyes, created for a dance routine, but she eventually released a second music video for the song, which allowed her to highlight her own dancing skills. Dance plays a huge role in Eilish's music in general. After all, this is the person who told Milk, quote, "If a song doesn't make you or you can't dance to it, then it's not a song." It was actually dance that drew Eilish to music in the first place. She started out in tap, loving Shirley Temple, then graduated into hip-hop and contemporary dance. It seems rather fitting then that her music style is a contemporary hip-hop blend. Speaking with the 405, Eilish proclaimed, "Like music, dance has always been my passion. It's a way to express how I feel." The school system helps shape who we are and who we become, but does that also apply for homeschooled students? Apparently, yeah, it does. Learning at home allowed creativity to become a major part of the curriculum for Eilish and her brother. She told Paper, "Homeschooling is kind of my parents' way of having us focus on things we're really interested in, instead of being at school and being taught things that you don't really need to know in life, things you're never going to remember or use. It was a good way to do what I was interested in instead of doing something I was forced to learn." What's more, learning at home was actually a necessity for the young star. That's because she struggles with an auditory processing disorder, which makes it hard for her to listen and learn the traditional way. Homeschooling allowed her to set her own pace and succeed. Eilish isn't about to do what's expected of her. She dresses in her own unique way and she rejects the standard pop culture demands. The title of her 2017 EP, Don't Smile at Me, may sound like it's simply describing her emotional, brooding music, but its meaning is actually quite literal. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar, she made the stunning revelation that she doesn't like it when people smile at her. She doesn't like doing it either. She proclaimed, "I hate smiling. It makes me feel weak and powerless and small." But you know how when you're walking down the street and somebody smiles at you, you're forced to smile back. That's the polite response. It's like you have no control over it. If I don't smile back, you're gonna think I'm horrible. Speaking publicly about mental illness openly is becoming more acceptable, but some stars appear to be even more open or at least more aware of who they are and what they feel. Eilish is on the forefront of this movement. Maybe it's her lack of inhibition or her "I don't give a damn" attitude, but Eilish speaks freely, even when discussing something as personal as depression. Sharing the meaning and inspiration behind I Don't Wanna Be You Anymore, a song about a person who can't stand who they see in the mirror, she revealed to Genius,
"I really hate myself. It's the way that my brain works."
At the beginning of her career, Eilish relished in any kind of social media interaction and personally responded to both fans and haters alike. Explaining her unique approach, she once told A Beautiful Perspective, "I love being judged, so any judgment of any kind I'm really pumped about. Nobody should feel like that, but I do. I don't really know what it is, but I like getting in people's heads, whether it be a good or bad thought. I don't care if you think I look bad or you don't like me. You're still thinking about me and I'm going around in your head." Still, the internet can scar even the strongest of wills and scare off even the most rebellious celebrities. About a year and a half after she made those comments, Eilish's tune changed slightly. She admitted to NME, "I used to read every single comment and every picture I was tagged in and respond to every single DM, but now I barely go on Instagram because I can't handle that. I just don't want to see all the horrible things people say. I don't want to see that I should have died instead of this artist. It takes not looking at my phone to stop myself from engaging." When Eilish talks about her upbringing, she speaks highly of her family and home, but the neighborhood she grew up in is another story. She once told Music Connection that Highland Park in Los Angeles was, quote, "very sketchy and there were lots of gunshots." Although she admitted that it, quote, "was fine, it wasn't horrible and miserable, and I wasn't scared for my life," crime lived quite close to the Eilish family. In fact, her neighbors turned out to be money launderers. Eilish's mum, Maggie, always wondered what her neighbors did for a living and why they carried filled garbage bags to and from their house. She found out one day when they asked her for help moving a safe that secretly contained hundreds of thousands of dollars.
"And just as I put the safe in the minivan, vroom, 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 FBI."
Turns out there were 3 safes in total containing approximately $1 million. But the drama didn't end there. The story took another unbelievable turn when Eilish's family actually decided to buy the house. They closed the sale and were then informed by their realtor that the cash they had paid was confiscated by the FBI. You might think Eilish would be too young to care about politics or not informed enough to speak on such topics, but she's one smart cookie. Not only is she interested in politics, but she's also greatly involved. In 2018, she teamed up with Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti to encourage young people to vote, even if she was too young to do it herself. This isn't just an act for Eilish. She believes that young people need a voice and deserve to have a say in what happens to their country. Speaking with NME, she argued, "Teenagers know more about the country that we're living in right now than anybody. The world is ending and I honestly don't understand the law that says you have to be older to vote because they're going to die soon and we'll have to deal with it." The last few years have showcased how fast a talented musician can rise through the ranks of fame. But when it comes to Billie Eilish, it seems we are seeing just the tip of the iceberg. Her debut EP was streamed more than 1.5 billion times, and her solo tour has been incredibly successful. So how much higher can she go? According to Forbes, Eilish is on the verge of superstardom. The publication listed her in its 30 Under 30 roundup and named her as one of the stars to watch in 2019. The future sure looks bright for young Eilish. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about Billie Eilish are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.